Hi, I'm here to show you how to do an Elizabeth Banks inspired faux bob. So we've already preset Kristen's hair with teasing, a little bit of a light working spray, and I'm going to show you the nuts and bolts of how to pin your hair into a faux bob. So the type of faux bob that we're doing is a more 60s inspired faux bob. So it's not that loose textured look, it is a little bit more refined and polished. So what we did is we teased all of the base of her head so that she has a lot of volume throughout her hair. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus her hair into 3 different sections. The left side of her hair, the middle, and then the right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by pinning the left side of her hair. This is something you can do on your own if you have a back mirror that you can work with, or if you've got a girlfriend who can help you. It's a super easy look to accomplish, but Kristen doesn't have a back mirror, so I'm gonna have to be her back mirror today. So I'm gonna pump her up so I can actually see the nape of her hairline, so I can make sure that I'm pinning the hair into actual hair as opposed to hair that we are pinning. So I'm pinning it to the base of her hairline and not to this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm trying to just wrap it back once. I bent it once so that you have that curl going under in the front of her hair, so it mimics what your hair would look like if you had an actual bob. So if you can hand me a pin, thank you. So as you're pinning the hair in, you are going to go ahead and make the pins go into an X, so that will lock them into place. And you want to make sure that you are pinning under hair that will lay over it. So I'm just checking to make sure that her pins won't be exposed. So I'm gonna go through after I get those 2 set in, and I'm gonna wrap this back and kind of create a mini bun in her hair. That will also help get the voluminous look that we're looking for on the sides and in the back. Thank you. So I'm gonna go and do both sides first because the back will be the easiest thing to use to lay over the 2 buns that I created. So on this side, I'm gonna go and do the exact same thing, making sure it looks like she got an even bob haircut. So you wanna make sure that the 2 sides are the same length, because the point of this look is not an asymmetrical bob, but a symmetrical bob. So thank you. And if one side is slightly shorter than the other, it's something you can adjust at the end when you're looking at yourself in the mirror. At this point, you want to just make sure that your hair is nicely teased so that you're going to get the look to set in and that you are getting it semi-even as you're pinning it back. So I've got my 2 sides pinned back. And now, because she has layers in her hair, I'm gonna actually clip off the top layers, because that's what I'm gonna use to hide the 2 buns that I made on either side. So just kind of the middle of the head up. Doesn't have to be anything super scientific. So I'm taking the back and making a bun again, but into itself. So if I can take that, thank you. So I'm taking the bun and it's gonna end up creating kind of a bubble in the back of her head, which is exactly what we're looking for. Any little pieces that you see sticking out, make sure that you pin those up, because we want it to look like it's a bob that's been curled under. So that's kind of the look we're going for. So now I'm gonna take the pieces that I clipped off and do the same type of bun that I did in the middle of the back, except on the sides to disguise the buns that we did to clip back the sides of the hair. So you see this bun right here. I am gonna take this piece, lay it over, curl it back into itself to have that bubbly bob look. Okay, can I have you. And we've been using only bobby pins up until this point. I have one to lock it. But to really disguise the look, I'm gonna have to throw a hairpin in there to connect these two sides. So I'm gonna need another bobby pin to get this little piece out of the way. Thank you. And a hairpin is like a bobby pin, except it's a little bit more separated. So if you can hand me a hairpin, thank you. It's like a bobby pin that's been stretched out, is what a hairpin is. And you use those for things where you're doing less securing and you're doing more refining, if that makes any sense. Okay, can I get a bobby pin, please? Thank you. So now I'm just going through and making sure that there are no gaps in the bob, so it's nice and smooth and uniform throughout. This is why a back mirror is especially important. If you can't see the back of your hair, you can't smooth anything out. And if you have short layers that are shorter than what you're pinning, it's okay to leave those out, like this piece right here. It just makes it look like you actually have a bob as opposed to having your hair pinned into a bob. So now I'm making sure that we have a symmetrical bob. So I'm gonna take this piece and pin it in. Bobby pin, I think. Actually, I'll take that one. And don't be afraid to mold it into place. So as you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you notice, okay, there are some flyaway pieces, take your hands and kind of mold it and push it up. If you feel any loose pins, if you see, okay, is the left side a little longer? And after you get the entire look done, you want to take a soft board bristle brush and smooth everything over the top so that you don't have any flyaways up top. And this is gonna sound kind of bizarre, but using the handle of the brush to smooth it out after, it keeps it from creating like pieces that are not uniform in the hair. So smoothing it back down with that. And this is how you recreate an Elizabeth Banks inspired faux bob.